Well, that's really incredible. One thing that I find really fascinating and super effective about your personality is you'll capitalize and move quickly on serendipity. So this audience knows David Goggins very well. He was a phenomenal guest on the show. But what I love in your story is you see him running next to you. You see that moment that's really become a core part of his story where he's got the broken feet, but he still runs the remaining 30 miles. But you reach out to him afterwards and actually make something of that. What was that process like for you, and why is that a thing for you to really, you see something, you move on it?
Yeah, I think, well, with Goggins, this was his first 100-miler. And I was doing it as a relay race. So I was doing it with 5 friends. He had no one to relay with. Like, he was his only friend at the race, and he was his own team. And immediately I was drawn to him because, he was a heavy set at the time, really muscular. And I was thinking, like, how's a guy that weighs this much gonna run? His goal was 100 miles, and he had no supplies. It was a self-supported race. You had to bring all your own supplies. I just sold my company to Warren Buffett. I had way overdid our supplies. I had masseuses and a Whole Foods truck pulled up, and Goggins had a glass of water, a box of crackers, and a chair. At mile 70, he went through this, he had crushed his feet. He broke several bones. And I watched him get up and continue on. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And when I was done, I'm like, I got to meet this guy. Because, and no, at this time, he was relatively unknown. This is 2007, 6 or 7, I think, something like that. And I wanted to meet him because whatever got him off the chair and said, I want to keep running. If I could teach that to my kids or to my employees or to myself, I want that secret sauce. And initially, I went out because I saw a lot of star power in him. I saw just a whole, different world. He represented something I'd never really seen before. And I realized that I wasn't going to get that secret sauce through a friendship or at a lunch meeting or this and that. And then I asked him to come, would you come live with me? Basically he said, if you're crazy enough to ask a guy like me to come, motherfucker, I'm crazy enough to come. And came to my house.
That's awesome. I love that. Is that something that you do with frequency? You'll see something, be curious, be interested, and do more than just the casual, hey, it's nice to meet you?
It is. If I find someone that's inspiring or an event or something, I try to introduce he, she, or it to my life. And that's part of just my own personal development. I learn better through experience than through books. I like to be challenged, and I love interesting people. I like people that think differently, that act differently. That's what attracts me. That's just what makes me feel like I'm getting the most out of life, And that is, I'm on a constant search for that because I'm very aware of my own mortality. I'm 50 years old. I'm turning 50, and the average American lives to be 78. And if that were the case and I was average, that means I got 28 years left. And that dictates, well, who do I want to spend that time with and what do I want to do? And that's a driving, it's like on repeat in my head. So to answer your question, that's sort of what makes me tick.